Hello, this is Iman and I'm your GCSE Maths tutor. Today we are solving Edexcel November 2023 paper 1 higher. The first question says that 6.3 times 2.4. Now it's decimal multiplication. To simply do this, we can only forget the decimal point first and just solve this question normally, like a simple double digit, two digit multiplication, where 4 times 3 is 12, 1 is carried, 4 times 6 is 24, adding 1 is 25. Placeholder, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 6 is 12, 2 and 1 here. Now add them and you're going to get 2, 5, 6 is 11, 1 is carried again, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. Now you get this answer, 1512. Now if you remember, we had decimal points. Now in each number, we had one digit after the decimal point, here and here. So we have 1 and 1 digit after the decimal point. So you have to keep in mind the total number of digits in all the numbers during multiplication, okay? The total number of digits that you have after the decimal point should be there after the decimal point in the answer. Like if there's 1, how many total digits are there after the decimal point in question? 1 and 2, right? So 3 and 4, there are 2 digits, right? So my answer should have 2 digits after the decimal point. So I'm going to place the decimal point here between 1 and 5. So my answer is 15.12.
Question 2. Now, A part 1 says that write down the value of 5 to the power of 0. Now, if you notice in this question, we are going to be doing the indices. So 5 to the power of 0 will be, we are going to follow the law of indices that says any number with the power 0 is equals to 1. So 5 to the power of 0 is also going to be equals to 1. Write down the value of 5 to the power of negative 2. Now here the power is negative. First we have to make it positive. How can we make a negative power positive? By taking the reciprocal of it, okay? The reciprocal of 5 to the power of negative 2 will be given by 1 over 5 squared, right? Now your power is positive and it's a reciprocal. So 5 squared is 25, so your answer will be 1 over 25. Part B says write 2 to the power of 5 times 2 to the power of 4 over 2 to the power of 3 in the form 2 to the power of n, where n is an integer. Now, one of the laws of index says that when two same digits are being multiplied, their powers are going to be added. So let's say we have two digits n times n, they're being multiplied and they have powers a and b respectively. So they can be written as n to the power of a plus b. And if two same digits are being divided, so their powers can be subtracted. These are two very important laws of the indices. You have to remember them. So it can be written as n to the power of a minus b. Now using these two laws, we're going to solve over our question. Okay, so this is the first law and this is the second one. We're going to be using these two laws to solve our question. Okay, now going back to the question, it says 2 to the power of 5 times 2 to the power of 4. So we can write it like 2 to the power of 5 plus 4, right? Then it says it is divided by 2 to the power of 3. And what did I say? That when the same digits are being divided, their powers can be subtracted. So I can write it like 5 plus 4 minus 3, right? It wouldn't be wrong. So 5 plus 4 is 9. We are going to follow the order of operations to solve this now. So 5 plus 4 is 9. And if we take away 3 from it, we're going to get 6. So your answer would be 2 to the power of 6. It's just a two-step questions. You're going to do that and you'll get your 2 marks. So that was it.
3 part A that says write 156 as a product of its prime factors. Now, to find out the product of the prime factors of 156, first we need to figure out the prime factors of 156. And how can we find that out? By simply dividing 156 by the lowest possible prime factor, that is 2. 156 divided by 2 gives you about 2 times 7 is 14, 1 here, 2 times 8 is 16. Again, 78 can be divided by 2, and it's going to give us something along 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 9 is 18. 39 cannot be divided by 2, but it can be divided by 3. So it's going to give us 3 times 1 and 3 times 3, which is 13. So the product of the prime factors of 166 is going to be 2 times 2 times 3 times 13, which can also be written as 2 squared times 3 times 13. And you have scored your 2 marks. Now, if we look at the part B, it says that find the highest common factor, HCF, of 156 and 130. How can we figure that out? We know the prime factors of 156, and there are 2 times 2 times 3 times 13. We're going to figure out the prime factors of 130 in the same manner. It's going to give us 2 times 6 is 12 and 2 times 5 is 10. We cannot do 65 by 2 or 3. We're going to do that with 5, which is going to give us 13. So the prime factors of 130 are 2, 5, and 13. Now, if you see, we have 2 common factors in between them. One is 2 and one is 13. Sorry about that. Again, actually, I have a very bad sense of drawing, so you can see that here. Okay, 2 and 13. So the HCF would be 2 times 13, which is 26. So the highest common factor between 156 and 130 is 56. Hope it's clear. And with that, you scored your 4 marks. Question 4. The mean length of 5 sticks is 4.2 centimeter. Now I'll measure the length of one of the sticks as 7 centimeter. Work out the mean length of the other 4 sticks. Now, how do you figure out the mean of a data set? Mean is basically, we add all the values and we divide by the number of the values. So it says that there are 5 sticks, so we're going to divide by 5 because the number of sticks is 5. And mean length is 4.2, basically, right? So instead of mean, I can just write 42. So I'm going to 4.2. And one of the sticks is 7 centimeter, and the other are 4x centimeter, right? I'm going to multiply 5 with this 4.2, and I'm going to get about 21 centimeters equals 7 plus 4x. Now I'm going to subtract 7 from 21. That's going to give me 14 equals 4x. Now to figure out x, I'm going to do x equals 14 divided by 4. This is going to give me 7 by 2, which is going to give me 3.5. So x is 3.5 centimeter. Okay. Now Noel made a mistake. The stick was not 7 centimeter long. It was 17 centimeter long. How does this affect your answer? So the length, see, if the stick is 17 centimeter long, instead of 21 minus 7, we're going to do 21 minus 17. It's going to give us about 4. 4 equals 4x, so x is going to be 1 centimeter. So the length of other sticks is going to be shorter. The length of other sticks is going to be 1 centimeter or shorter, whatever you want to write. Other sticks is going to be, is going, or will be, the length of other sticks will be 1 centimeter. Okay, question 6. Welcome back to Edexcel November 2023, paper 1 higher. Today we are doing question 6. The diagram shows an isosceles triangle ABD and straight line ABC. So this is the triangle ABD and this is the straight line ABC. Now BA equals BD. We can see that these small lines, whenever you see these small lines on side lines of a triangle, you should know that they're equal. And it says the x ratio y, the ratio of x to y equals 2 to 1. It means for every 2x there is 1 y. For every 1x there is 2 y's. So we can write ratios like this, right? Ratios are basically fractions. So to figure out the value of x, we're going to multiply both sides by y, so we'll get 2y. So your x is 2y. Now, when we are solving isosceles triangles, so if angle BAD, if angle BAD is x naught, x degree, sorry, then angle BDA, this angle right here, is also going to be x, because these two sides, BD and BA, are equal. Now, if that is x, if two of these angles are x, one is y, we know that angles in a triangle add up to 180, right? So x plus y equals 180. This is going to give you 2x plus y equals 180. Now, do you remember what was x? Sorry, x was equals to 2y. So instead of x here, I'm going to put 2 into 2y plus y equals 180. This will give me 5y equals 180. That will give me y equals 180 divided by 5, which is wait a second, which is 30. 5 times 3 is 15 and 6. So y is 36 degrees. Now if y is 36 and w, we needed to work out the value of w, right? We need to figure this one out. So w and y, they're both angles on a straight line, like on the line ABC, right? So angles on a straight line add up to 180. So w is going to be equal to 180 minus y, which is 180 minus 36, and that gives us 144. So your w is 144 degrees. I hope it's clear. Question 7. Manu has 3 shelves of books. There are x books on shelf A. There are 3x plus 1 books on shelf B, and there are 2x minus 5 books on shelf C. There is total 44 books. So it means that if we add x plus 3x plus 1 plus 2x minus 5, that should be equals to 44. So if we figure this out, we can get the value of x, right? So 3x plus x is going to give you 4x, and 4x plus 2 is going to give you 6x, and 1 minus 5 is going to give you minus 4 equals 44. Then 6x equals 44 minus 4, that's going to give you 40. So 6x equals 40, and okay, now it's going to be plus, so this is going to be 48. So x is going to be 48 divided by 6, which is 8. It means that x is equal to 8. So there are 8 books on shelf A. There are 3 into 8 plus 1, which is 24, and 25 books on shelf B. B, A equals 8, and C has 2 into 8 minus 5. So 2 times 8 is 16. 16 minus 5 is 11. So we have 11 on C. Now, all the books have the same mass. The books on shelf B have total mass of 7,500 grams, and we got the total mass of the books on shelf A. So if the mass of 25 books for shelf B equals 7,500 grams, for one book it will be equals to 7,500 over 25 grams, which is going to be 300 grams. So you can use this to figure out the mass of the books on the shelf A. So you just have to do 8 times 300 grams mass on shelf A. 8 times 300 grams, it's going to give you the mass, which is 2400 grams. Hope that's clear. Question 8 for at number 2023 Edexcel Higher Paper 1 says that the normal price of a mattress is reduced by 40% in a sale. The price of mattress in the sale is 660. So if it's reduced by 40%, so the current price would be 60%, right? It means that the current price in the sale, that is £660, equals 60%. Now, if this is true, then if we divide both sides by 6, we can get the price for 10%, right? So divide both sides by 6, or maybe we can write it like this. Divide both sides by 6, you're going to get £110 for 10%. Now times both sides by 100, so you're going to get the total 100% amount, the original amount. So the original amount, the 100% amount, is basically £1,100. I hope that's clear.
It says that to cook rice, the number of cups of rice, the ratio to the number of cups of rice x to the number of cups of water y is 4:5, which means that for every 4 cups of rice, there should be 5 cups of water. Oh, sorry, that's y. And we can also write it like cross multiply them, and it could be 5x equals 4y. So considering that in mind, okay, use the information to draw a graph to show the relationship between the number of cups of rice and the number of cups of water. For that, we need some values of x and y. So we're gonna make a table. When x is 4, y is 5. So if we double them up and see if x is 8, y will be 10, and if x is 0, y will be 0 as well. So it means that the first point is here at 0, 0. Second is at 4, 8, 4, 5, sorry, which is here. Second is at 8, 10, which is here. Now all that is left is to draw the line. Okay, I don't know how to draw a straight line. My drawing is so bad. So just make do with me. You have to draw a straight line using the scale and the compass, scale and the pencil properly. I can't do that because I don't have a scale, okay? That is it. You got your 2 marks. Now find the gradient of the line drawn in part A. Now remember what we did here on top. So if you're going to write it like this. So x ratio y equals 4:5. So it means that 5x equals 4y. So y will be equals, we have to make the equation of line to figure out the gradient, okay? So y equals to 5 over 4x. This 4 is going down here. We just rearranged it a bit. It means that your gradient is basically, this is the general form of equation of line. We don't have any y-intercept, so there is no c. And c is y-intercept and m is slope, right? So if we have no y-intercept, then that c is going to be 0. So your equation is only going to be in this form. Here m is gradient, m is slope, and gradient is basically slope of the graph, remember? So 5 by 4 is going to be your gradient. Explain what gradient represents. Gradient represents the cups of water that is needed to cook the rice. So gradient tells you the number of how many cups of water is needed for each cup of rice. For each cup of rice, or per cup of rice, for each cup of rice. Instead of how, you can choose the number. How many? You can go for the number of cups. That looks better. It tells you about the number of cups. Hope it's clear. You got your
4 marks for this question now. We are doing question 10 today. The circumference of circle is 10 meters. Work out the area of circle. Give your answer in terms of pi. So circumference is given by 2 pi r, right? We can just write it as circum so that we don't have to write full form. So circum equals 2 pi r, which means that circumference is 10 meters and it's 2 pi r. We can use this to figure out radius because the area of circle is given by pi r squared, right? So we need to know r. We don't have r here. We can use this formula to figure out r. So if we place the value of circumference instead of that on left side and rearrange this a bit, we can figure out the value of r. So r equals 10 over 2 pi, which is going to give you meters, of course, 5 over pi meters. This 2 is going to cancel out this 10 and pi is going to stay there. Putting that in the formula of area, we're going to get pi r squared, which is going to be pi bracket 5 over pi squared, and this is going to be pi 25 over pi squared time let's go to the other side. This is going to be pi 25, it's being multiplied, okay, pi squared. This square and this pi cancels out each other, so we only have one pi left. So your answer would be 25 over pi. Hope so you get it. Because it was squared, so your meter is squared now. So area is in meter squared. Meter squared, remember that. This is your answer. Hope you get it. Question 11 that says Alice recorded the number of cars going into a village on each of 80 days. The incomplete table and the complete table, incomplete box and incomplete box plot give information about her results. So, wait a second, actually. Okay, yeah, sorry. So, we have incomplete table and the box plot. We have to complete them both. So, in box plot, we have something like this shape, right? So this is your least. This is your highest. Sorry. And we also have a median here, the middle one. This is your lower quartile, LQ, okay? And this is your upper quartile, UQ. And the middle part is your median. Remember? So if you look at the table, you have the least number, you have the median, you have the range. What you don't have is lower and upper quartile. But if you look at the graph here, you have the lower quartile, you have the upper quartile. So we are going to draw the graph first. Or maybe we're going to complete the table first. So if we look at the lower quartile, it's like here. It's going to be 780. Because this graph is like each one block is 20. So half is like each 5 blocks is 100. So it means each one block is small. One small block is going to be 20. So this is going to be 780. And upper quartile, if we look at it, is at 1200. Right? Now, we have completed the table. Now we're going to use the table to figure out the graph. So let's plot what we have already. So we have least amount. So we're going to plot it like, what's the least amount? 300 is going to be in the middle right here. Yeah, quite a straight line in it. We're going to fix it. Hope so. Oh wow. I think we should just do try it one last time and then forget it. Because we are hopeless in drawing. Here, so it's going to be here. And what's your highest? Oh, we don't know highest, but we don't know our median. Median is going to be somewhere here, 900. So we drew our least and our median, our upper and lower quartile are already there. Now we need to figure out highest. Now this is range. This is not your highest value because see, upper quartile is higher than that. Do you remember how do we figure out range? Range is basically highest minus the lowest. So currently we have lowest and range. So if we add them, we'll get the highest. So highest equals 3 lowest plus range, that is 300 plus 1000, which is going to give you 1300. So your highest will be here. You just have to draw the line now to join this box plot. Your box plot is ready. Now, that was the part A. You got your 3 marks. Now moving to part B. On some of the days, some of these 80 days, Alice saw fewer than 1200 cars going into the village. Work out an estimate for the number of days Alice saw fewer than 1200 cars going. So when was the 1200 cars going? At the lower quartile. Upper quartile. Fewer than 1200 cars means that cars in this section, right? From lowest to upper quartile. So if you know that each quartile, each section is 25% on box plot, right? Of the full data set. So from the lowest to lower quartile,
it's going to be 25%. From lower quartile to median, it's going to be 25%. From median to upper quartile, it's going to be 25% of the data. And from upper quartile to the highest is also going to be 25%. So it means that up to, if we add them up, so lower quartile is at 25, and median is at 50, and upper quartile is at 75, and highest is the 100, and lowest is the 0. So by doing that, we can figure out the percentage that we need to figure out. So it means that about 75% of the 80 cars, sorry, 75% of the 80 days were the days when the cars were fewer than 75. Okay, so basically on 75% of the days, the cars were going into the village were less than 1200. This is what I'm gonna say. Sorry. So if we figure out 75% of 80, so how do we do that? So 75% of 80 can be figured out. 75 divided by 100 times with 80. Is it this? So it's gonna be 75 times 8 divided by 10, which is going to be 60. So your answer is 60. Now, what's the key to remember? That upper quartile, it's 1200. It means that's upper quartile. So up to upper quartile, it's 75% of the days. Okay? That's how you're going to remember that. I hope it's clear. If it's not, let me know in the comments.
Okay, so this is question 12, right? The straight line L has equation 2y equals 3x minus 7. Find an equation of the straight line perpendicular to L that passes through 6, negative 5. So x is 6 and negative 5 is y. Now, we need to find a perpendicular line, right? Straight line that is perpendicular to this equation. Now, keep in mind, first we need to make this equation in the form of y equals mx plus b. This is the general form of equation of line. It is already in the form, but we have a 2 with y. We don't need this. So this is going to be 3 by 2 x minus 7 by 2. Now, perpendicular line has the slope equals to the negative reciprocal of the first slope. So if this is our line L, the new line, let's say L or maybe M, will have the slope perpendicular to the other lines M. So if this is M equals 3 by 2, so the negative perpendicular of this is going to be negative 2 by 3. Now we're going to use these points to figure out B. So if y is negative 5, M is 2 by 3, x is 6, what will be B? It's going to be 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times 2 is negative 4, negative 5 plus 4 equals B. Let me clarify that one. It's going to be negative 4 here because 2 times 2 is 4 plus B. So B equals negative 5 plus 4, which is negative 1. So M is negative 2 by 3, B is negative 1. So we can easily make our new equation, that is y equals negative 2 by 3 x minus 1. This is your new equation of line that is perpendicular to L. Here, question 13 says that solid A and solid B are similar. The ratio of the height of solid A to the height of solid B is 2:5. It means that if height equals 2:5, then area will be square them and 4:25. So volume would be 8:125. So if we have volume 8:125, but here it says that the volume of solid A is 12 centimeter cube. Volume. So how can we go from 8 to 12? We can first simplify 8, divide them by 2, we are going to get 4. Here we're going to get 2 times, wait a second, it's going to be 62.5, and times it with 3 here. First you divide by 2, then you times it by 3, and you get 12. And of course, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. So 8 here times with 3 here. So this is going to be 187.5. So your volume of solid B is 187.5. Okay, let's label them as well. This is A, this is B. Here as well, this is A, this is B. Question 14 says work out the value of 27 to the power of 2 over 3 plus 1 over 2 to the power of negative 3. Now we have fraction in the power and negatives in the power. So in the fraction, when we have power in the fraction, the top number is basically the square. Like it's the basically power. And the bottom number is the root. So it means that it's 27 root cube root and to the power of 2 plus, on the other side, the negative in the power means that you're going to flip the fraction that inside, and 3 means that it's a cube. It's a power again. So it's gonna be 2 over 1, so it just stays 2 cube. Now, cube root of 27 is just 3, because 3 times 3 is 27. So they are gonna cancel out each other. We still have a square. 2 cube is 8. 3 square plus 8 is basically 9 plus 8, and that gives you 17. Question 15 says an object falls from rest. Here is the distance time graph for the distance d meters, followed by the object t seconds after it starts to fall. Work out and estimate for the gradient of the graph t equals 3. You must show how you got your answer. Okay. To figure out the gradient at 3, you need to draw a straight line right at 3, like tangent to the circle, remember? Okay, this is not the way it is. This is not on 3. Okay, that's not. See, I told you, my drawing is not that good, so something like this. This works. So let's pick a point at 5 and 2. Oh wow. So at 2, the value, the distance in the at 2 seconds, the distance is about 5, 10, 15. And at 5, the distance is about 55, 60, 75, 80, 90. So you know the formula for gradient, m equals y2 minus y1, rise over run. So y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. So we're gonna do m equals, gradient equals 90 minus 15 over 5 minus 2. That gives you 10 take away 5 is 5, 8 take away 1 is 7. Yeah, over 3. So 3 times 2 is 6 and 3 times 5 is 15. So our gradient is 25. So because we just took an estimate, you're going to force draw a straight line, so you'll get a better answer. But anything between 22 to 28 is the right answer. So yeah, if you get anything between 22 to 28, that's the right answer. So yeah, that was it. Question 16. At the start of year n, the population of a species is Pn. At the start of the following year, the population of the species is given by Pn plus 1 Kp, and K is the rate, positive constant, by which the population is increasing. The population of the species at the start of year 1 is 8 million, and the population of the species at the start of year 2 is 6 million. So Pn plus 1, let's say if n is 1 for the first year, n plus 1 would be 2. So it means that P2 equals Kp1. So 6 equals K8, they're multiplying. So it means that 6 over 8 equals K, and that's going to be 0. Let's see, because this is a non-calculator paper. Let's see how you can divide. So because 8 can't go into 6, so we are going to add a 0. So when you add a 0, you put a decimal on top. 8 times, I literally forgot, 7 is 56. Then you got 4, 8 times 5 is 40. Of course, you're going to add a 0 as well, so 40. 0.75. K equals 0.75. Now, we're supposed to work out the population of the species at the start of year 3. It means that P3 equals Kp2, and we don't know P3, so it's going to stay like that. K is 0.75 times P2 is 6. So 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 7 is 42, 5, 6 times 0 is 0, so 4. It means that the population at the start of year 3 is going to be 4.50 million. Then it says at start of year 5, the value of K is increased by 0.3. So before K was 0.75, now it's increased by 0.3, which is 1.05. Louis thinks that from the start of year 5, the population of the species would increase year on year. Is Louis correct? You must give a reason. Louis is correct. Why? Because look at the K. K is greater than 1. If K is greater than 1, then the population is increasing. So yes, he is correct. Why? Because the value of K is greater, or maybe let's keep it more simple, because K is greater than 1. Yeah. See? Question 17 says factorize 6x squared minus 5x minus 4. So do you remember the sum and product method? Sum and product method, where that sum of the you need to think of two numbers that their sum should be equals to the b and their product should be equals to a times c. Now usually a is 1, so we just make it equal to c, the last product. This is the general form of quadratic equation for reference, that what I'm talking about. So the alphabet with the digit with x is a, the digit with b, the digit with x squared is a, the digit with x is b, and the constant is c. Usually it's a times c, but most of the time x squared doesn't have any number, so we just say that the product should be equals to c, but it's a times c. This is the actual formula. Now if we look for the factors, the only factors that give me negative 5 and a times c, 6 times negative 4, negative 24 are 8 and 3. But 5 and 24 has a negative sign, so one of them should be negative. So if 5 is negative and 4 is also negative, it means that bigger number is negative, so it's like this. Now, it means that your factors would be plus 3x, sorry, minus 8x plus, minus 4, right? If you take out 3x common, because it's 6 and it's 3, you get 2x plus 1. And here, if you take out 4 common, you get 2x plus 1 as well. So your factors are 2x plus 1 and 3x minus 4. Now, the next part says, hence or otherwise solve 6x squared minus 5x minus 4 is less than 0. So it means that one of the values of x equals negative 1 by 2, and the other value of x is 4 by 3. So when the values of x are these, then this whole thing is equals to 0, right? Or we can write it like this, that this will be equals to 0 when the values of x are like this. If we plot a graph, the general parabola, the quadratic equation is represented by a parabola, right? It's going to be something like, this is 1 by 2, this is, let's say, 4 by 3. So your graph should be passing from here, making a curve here, and going up like this. Well, consider it. The part that is here below the zeros is the part that is represented by the equation. Okay, this part here is the part that the equation is representing. So hence and otherwise, if x is, sorry, negative, here, negative 1 by 2 is less than x and 4 by 3 is greater than x.